It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. As you can tell, I'm wrapped up like Nanook of the North. John, up there in Minnesota. 16 degrees here in Central Virginia. And I talked to Elizabeth a little while ago down in Cozumel, and she said, "Oh, it's 81 here." Well, it's cold. Yeah, right. I'm sitting here freezing to death in the cave, and it's 16 degrees outside. So I'm wrapped up. No, actually, I'm just playing here, folks. I mean, it's cold. I mean, that's how cold it is here, but I haven't been sitting around wrapped up like this all morning. No. So just being a little silly. All right. Today is National Bubble Bath Day. You know what that means, don't you? Especially for you ladies. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys to go get in bubble bath, but you ladies go take a bath and put your bubble bath in it and celebrate National Bubble Bath Day. So, all right. Headlines today. Royal Caribbean cancels a bunch of cruises. Of course, that just tore the social media world apart yet last night. We're going to talk about that this morning, specifically which cruises are canceled and how it's going to change things for now. And of course, that's subject to change daily. Carnival Freedom Denied Entry at Grand Turk, Celebrity Apex Denied Entry at Nassau, and a whole bunch more live this morning at 11, including a story especially for our own Emily up there in New York. So we do have an Emily story this morning. Guests on the podcast. Yeah. Podcast coming up. Now, folks, maybe, I'm hoping that on Monday, our podcast guest will be Osman Zanzibar, who's from Tanzania. He's a tour operator, tour guide in Tanzania. I have been in contact with him. I've got some lovely pictures and some video clips. And hopefully we're going to be running some tests on a Wi-Fi signal to Tanzania right after the program today. And hopefully he will be a guest on Monday from a tape show. We're hoping for that. On Tuesday, of course, we've got London Times cruise editor, Sue Bryant, who is I didn't hear back from her this morning. I think she has wrapped up the supplement, which is like a 16-page newspaper supplement on the cruise industry, which maybe publishes tomorrow. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm thinking, because I know she's been working like nonstop to get that thing done. So anyway, we'll have her on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'll have Chris Wood, who's been working for several years now on changing the way airlines handle disabled folks. The ones I'm lucky, I can get the wheelchair service to the door of the plane. I can get out of the wheelchair and walk into my seat and sit down. Those that aren't so lucky, they get manhandled terribly by the airlines to get them from their chair into the seats. It's awful. Plain awful. We're going to talk to Chris Wood about that and how he's doing with getting that changed on airlines around the world. And then I'm hoping on Thursday to have Jordan from JJ Cruise. Some of you that follow the JJ Cruise know that Jared has tested positive, which, he looked awful last night. He did a little live stream last night to tell all of their fans of the situation that they're in. And that's probably going to mean a couple cruises more get canceled from them. But obviously Jordan is, exposed by, them being together. So we'll play that one by ear, and we'll see how I also have sent a message to them this morning and have not heard back to see how they're doing today. So we'll see about Jordan next week, if not. All right. If you are listening to the podcast, folks, if you're one of our podcast guests, you can catch it at the podcast anywhere where all podcasts are found, or to my blog site, which is accessadventure.net. The podcast, each episode will be there. And then you can also get it. Of course, all you have to do is search for Travel and Cruise Industry News on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Pandora, Podchaser, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. So that's that. It is a huge, big weekend for the cruise industry as far as sailings go. And I just realized that's disappeared. Let me see if I have that. No, I don't. Is it on this one? Draft. No. Okay. All right. My list of sailings this weekend is gone for today. So we will have to forego that one. Had some technical issues earlier. You know me with technical issues. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of cruises this weekend, literally, from the North American ports. Everybody's busy. It's a huge, big weekend. So, all right, now let's see here what we got coming this morning. I did talk with Roger and Nikki. They're, of course, out in the Pacific. If you're watching the podcast, folks, again, you'll probably want to check down in the description. I've got a couple of pictures from Roger and Nikki that are on the Viking Orion on its way to the South Pacific. And so if you're on the podcast, you might want to grab the link down in the description and go check out some of the photos that they have sent me. This, of course, was the Pacific Ocean early morning. This was a Winter Garden tea time tray yesterday. I thought I could change this background and it would it's not changing the background. Okay, that's the tea time tray. And this is the Winter Garden ceiling looking out. They said one of the problems, they're finding that the chairs are lower on the Viking Orion than they're used to, which, you know, especially if they do a nice dinner like they did last night and have several glasses of wine, it makes it a little more difficult getting up. Actually, they did the nice fancy chef's table last night, among other things. That is the spicy tuna tataki, if I'm pronouncing that right. And this is beef tenderloin. Now, what we saw yesterday in the sea bass, the purple glob, and there's a similar purple glob on the tenderloin plate, that's potato. It's a purple potato. I guess it's kind of like a mashed potato that's, I don't know what they use to get purple, if that's food coloring or something they do. But anyway, it's a potato. So we kind of guessed that yesterday, but I found that out. And this is a dessert, which is an apple tart tatin with butterscotch sauce. So that's from Roger and Nikki out somewhere in the South Pacific, which is cool. And these, of course, are just a couple. This was Elizabeth on location, making fun of me being freezing my butt off here in Virginia. And she's sitting out in the garden with just lovely stuff all around her down there in Cozumel. So, All right. We do have some news stories to get to this morning, folks, so I'll quit playing and get on with it. We'll get to some news right after this word from one of our network sponsors. Back at it, folks. On with the news for the day. Royal Caribbean, of course, this started just a firestorm storm last night on social media. Royal Caribbean has canceled a number of voyages on multiple cruise ships due to what it is calling ongoing COVID-related circumstances, according to an email that was sent out to travel advisors. And here's a rundown of what all has been canceled by Royal Caribbean. Cruises on Jewel of the Seas from January 9th to February 12th have been canceled. The ship is set to resume service on February the 20th. Cruises on Serenade of the Seas, that's from Tampa, from January 8th to March the 5th have been canceled. It's set to return to service on April 26th after a dry dock. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Serenade is supposed to go to Alaska for the Alaska season starting in early May. The third ship that's already back in service, Symphony of the Sea, has suspended sailings from January 8th to January 22nd and scheduled to return to service January 29th. The fourth ship that hasn't yet resumed operation, Visions of the Seas, was set to resume cruising on January 24th. Now the ship's restart date has been pushed back to mid-February. So that's what we know so far from Royal Caribbean. Obviously, that puts a lot of other things into question, including one of my cruises. I'm on Freedom of the Seas. Is Royal Caribbean going to go on and cancel a lot more? We just don't know yet, folks. And like we've said all along, if you don't have the stomach for changes, don't cruise right now. Don't plan to cruise right now, because I promise you, if it's possible, something's going to change immediately, if not sooner. Carnival Freedom was denied at a second cruise port during its 8-day Caribbean itinerary. The Carnival cruise ship was not allowed to make a scheduled visit to Grand Turk and Turks and Caicos yesterday. That's the day after Turks and Caicos finally got open. They had Mardi Gras the day before, but they turned the Carnival Freedom away. The Conquest class vessel has not had much luck regarding ports of call recently. She was denied going into Grand Turk after she had been denied several ports previously. It was decided by the local Ministry of Health in Turks and Caicos, after reviewing details submitted by the ship, not to allow guests to disembark the vessel and deny the ship entry in the best interests of public health. Cruise line must submit to a number of cases on board, must submit the number of cases on board to each port before visiting. According to an announcement by the ship's captain, there were COVID cases among the crew. No specific numbers have been released. According to guests on board the current sailing, there's a possibility the ship being allowed to make a port of call in Nassau. That's a question, since celebrity Apex was denied a call in Nassau yesterday. So not sure if Freedom will be accepted or not. That one remains to be seen for tomorrow. So continuing on with that story, the celebrity Apex was not allowed to make her scheduled call in Nassau yesterday. It comes as the cruise line says the authorities denied the vessel due to an emergency decision by local health authorities. Celebrity Cruises sent out a letter to the guests on the current sailing informing them of the cancellation. It's another last-minute port cancellation for a cruise ship sailing in the Caribbean and the Bahamas. This time, the celebrity Apex which has been denied entry to the Bahamas due to changes that country made in their entry requirements for cruise ship. The vessel will be spending a day at sea instead of the guests spending a day ashore at Nassau. Which health requirements the cruise line is talking about is unclear. The Bahamas recently updated their testing requirements, but these are only in place for visitors staying longer than 48 hours. Celebrity Apex sails with a full vaccination mandate for passengers and crew. Guests are also required to test negative before the cruise. Celebrity Cruises has not made any official statements on whether there are any active cases on board or not, and we have not heard anything from any of the folks on board the Apex to add some information to that. And this story is for Emily. This is totally for Emily. So if you want to turn off the volume, turn it off, folks. The next time you're cruising out of the sunshine state of Florida, which I'm going to be, make sure you give paddle boarding a try. How's that, Emily? Paddle, P-A-D-L is the name of the company, is a new service making paddleboard rentals in Florida easy and affordable for cruisers looking to spend some time in the sun before or after their cruise vacation. With miles and miles of beach and intercoastal waterway, Florida might be the best state for paddleboarding, and you need to check it out. No matter if your ship leaves from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, or Tampa, the Paddle app by searching your app store or using the QR code found on the self-service paddleboard rack and follow the instructions to get your board off the rack and into the water. It's time to have some fun. So, yeah, you can find these paddleboard racks down there and you go rent one, and there's an app for your phone, and go paddleboarding. I will say, folks, there's not anything posted on fat people doing that. However, I tried to get on a paddleboard on land and couldn't do it. So I've been having a hell of a time in the water. Paddle, I assume that's how it's pronounced, P-A-D-L, paddle. Paddle provides a life jacket, a leash, and a paddle with each board. So you have everything you need. So that's the news for the day. And that's a special news story just for Emily about paddleboarding. All right. Let's go over here and see if anybody's in the comments. I didn't even check to see if I have if my audio's working, or I assume it is. Somebody'd be screaming. All right, Hot Air Tom's with us. Hey, Hot Air Tom. He says, hey to Nikki out in the middle of the ocean. There's Elizabeth greeting all from a pleasant day here in Cozumel. Should only get up to 82 today, but no rain, thankfully. Oh, yeah, I feel sorry for Emily down in Cozumel with that chilly 82 degrees. Huh. Jack's with us down in Conroe, Texas, 60 degrees. It's warming up, Jack. You're getting back close to normal now. Jack says, hey to everybody. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Good morning, everybody. Elizabeth, please send some of your warm weather up to Pennsylvania. Carol's with us. Hey, Carol. There's Nikki. Hi, Nikki. She's out in the middle of the Pacific. She got send us got actually in on a broadcast. That's awesome. We've been enjoying your pictures, Nikki. Elizabeth says that she'll try, Kenneth, to send you some warm weather. Hope you're enjoying the photos. Looks like you have been on your own private yacht. Who? Me? Or Kenneth? Oh, Kenneth. Okay. Nikki says, tells Jack she's sorry his cruise got canceled. Hope another one works out for you soon. Jack says not only was the cruise canceled, but the airline reservations are non-refund and cannot be extended, but I am insured. That's good. Thank goodness for that. Carol says she feels sorry for Jared. He did look poorly. I hope he feels better too. Yeah, I tell you what, he just looked, oh my goodness. You could just tell how bad he felt and was struggling just to do that. So God bless him. And I'm just like a little hen. I get worried now about the guys. I'm trying to get information to, see how they're doing. Not that I can do anything about it down here in Virginia, and they're up there in South Bend. So Nikki said, on the testing, we have to spit in a tube before eating, drinking, or brushing teeth. The tubes are picked up by 10 a.m. Daily testing. Wow. Interesting. Elizabeth says, Jack, you're wise. That's why insurance is so important. There's John. There's Nanook of the North. John is actually colder than I am. Good morning. 16 above for the first time in days, but not for long. He had it to minus 38 here a couple days ago. 16, that's the same temperature it is here in Virginia, for goodness sake. So, John Nanook of the North. Everybody's saying, yeah, that's a good lesson on the insurance. Glad you had it, Jack. By the way, I have it too on all of mine. So if something happens, I got my butt covered. So Emily's with us. There you go, Emily. I hope you got to see the story, especially for you. If you didn't, you got to watch the replay, because that story was meant just for Emily. Purple potatoes, hot air. No, that's not hot air, Tom. That's Nanook of the North, John. Nanook of the North says purple potatoes. Ronnie raised several varieties, some that kept their purple color through cooking. Well, I'll be you people that do these weird things with beets and grow white beets. I didn't know beets were white. I thought beets were purple. And now we got purple potatoes. Well, and I'm a farmer, for goodness sake. Obviously, I'm not much of a farmer. I can tell you that, because a lot of this stuff I didn't know. And John says, hey, Tom, it's called the buffet. I couldn't resist. Yeah. Jack says to Emily, I'm okay, but trying to cope with the cancellations of NCL cruise to the Bahamas. That's just bad. I'm a little more worried now about mine. There's Amy. Hey, Amy. Amy's another one that's not going to. She's not on the boat going to Hawaii this morning. That's unfortunate. She's up there in Rhode Island in cold weather and snow instead of on her way to Hawaii. I think Royal Caribbean and others are canceling or delaying cruises because right now people are hesitant to travel, not because there's a huge surge of COVID cases on board. Now, I still think, okay, John up in Minnesota, one of the news reports up there was about masking, and a couple of the recent mayors up there have instituted mask mandates again, because they reached a positivity rate of 16%, and they went bonkers over that. Okay. Virginia positivity rate is 31% as of yesterday. That's awful. We're double what it is in Minnesota down here in Virginia. So I've gone into just being extremely careful. And I still believe once I get on the boat, no matter what's going on, I'm safer there than I am here, especially if I have to go out at all. Yesterday, I didn't even go to PT because I'm trying to completely stay away from people. So we'll see. And Nikki says, great pizza in the buffet, the World Cafe. The MDR is called The Restaurant and has recognizable entrees. The beef was very tender and must have been cooked with sous vide. Sous vide? That's probably some wine. I got a kick out of Nikki said that when they were at the chef's table, that each course had a wine paired with the course, and they got a little tipsy before dinner was over with all the different courses and all the different wines. I was chuckling over that one earlier, Nikki. Elizabeth says, I found the buffet on Viking to be very nice. I would say they were second only to Regent and Oceana. Uh-oh, we've been sex bombed again. Goodness gracious, let's get rid of that one. There's another one. Erased. I can't believe that's almost every day we've been getting one or more. We had 3 one day. People, this is a travel channel. We're not interested in your sex stuff. Hot Air Tom says, I have not eaten at the buffet since 2014 cruise when I got sick. Seeing a few extra large folk with plates overloaded, eating like pigs at a trough at 3 in the afternoon. Tom, Hot Air Tom's talking about the fat travel guy. Another fat travel guy. I don't eat at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, actually, rarely do I eat at the buffet except at breakfast. And I do like the breakfast buffet on most cruise lines. That's normally my meal at the buffet. The rest of the time I'm out and about other places, but I do like my breakfast up there. I go there most days. Hot Air says, non-government operation good, government sucks. Yeah, well, I agree with that one. Nikki says, thanks, Elizabeth. Sometimes it seems like we're on a ghost ship. Yeah, that's unbelievable that how few people are on that ship. They're going all the way to the South Pacific. Man, they got to be losing money. Goodness gracious. Emily says, thank you, Chillie. I do appreciate the paddle boarding report. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This PADL company, paddle, I assume it's called. And they're apparently it's like a self-serve vendor kind of setup. They have a rack, and I guess you stick a credit card in. And the one thing that they said it's affordable. They don't tell you how affordable it is on the information that I could find this morning. So I don't have any idea if they charge you $10 a day, $10 an hour, $10 a minute. I have no clue on that one. So, okay, so John, let me see if I can do that while I'm on the fly here. John sent some potatoes. Oh, okay, let me see if I can do that. Man, they can't be potatoes, John. No, can't be. All right, now I'm going to try to upload these on the fly from John. I am totally in shock that these would even be considered potatoes. And you people on the podcast, just ignore it or go get a link to go watch the video, because we do crazy stuff like this all the time. And I realize this isn't good for you guys that are on the podcast listening. But that is from Nanook of the North, John, some potatoes. Now, the ones on the right look like pretty normal potatoes to me. You know, normal skinned, even the red skin. But the ones on the left, I looked at that. I thought, man, that's blackberries or something. And then I start looking at those are purple potatoes. That's what Nikki's eating out there on the Viking. Is that where that clob of purple comes from? I'm just shocked. Folks, obviously John's a much better farmer than I am, because I have no idea that potatoes could even look like that. And Nikki, if you're still on here, are they good? I mean, they look horrible, quite frankly, but I mean, on a cruise, I would probably try them too. And then they might be delicious as far as I know. Hot Air's asking the sex bomber, what is your goal in life? Before she could answer that, I zapped her. 31 degrees here in Richmond. Hey, it's warmed up some over there. That's nice. 77 in Esmeralda, Florida. Let's party there. Isn't that the truth? Elizabeth says, no, I wrote that comment for Nikki. Clean those glasses. Okay. The Weather Channel has been showing Roanoke. I keep meaning to tell you that. Yeah, well, I keep us running a commentary with a couple people on the Weather Channel. So I have been known to provide some information from the farm here to those folks. It's how I every now and then I get a comment from Jim Cantori or make a comment to him. But yeah, and Roanoke, because they had more weather here in Lynchburg. We didn't have, other than cold, we didn't get any more snow. Yesterday we didn't get any more snow. Roanoke got a little more snow, and who knows what's going to happen this weekend? That's still debatable. But anyway, Emily says, just for me, thank you for thinking of me, Chillie. Of course, paddleboarding, that's got to be for Emily. Hot Air says, I think that ship cancels are due to many crew being quarantined, probably having trouble getting enough healthy crew to man the active ships. That's a possibility too. And what I'm hearing, again, this is coming from a lot of unconfirmed sources, but a lot of the numbers that we've been getting and hearing and coming out of the CDC are grossly misrepresented. I don't know how truthful that is, but I've gotten reports back again. The reason it's not been in a story is because I don't know how truthful they are. Okay, John has sent more potato pictures, I guess. Pink potatoes, purple potatoes, also white carrots. White carrots? Why would you have a white carrot? I'm totally baffled by that one as well. This must be a dinner. To my vegetarian friends, here is a John dinner. Oh yeah, I gotta go back over here and reload this sucker. So okay. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I don't know. This is terrible broadcasting, folks, as I'm stumbling around like an idiot, especially for the podcast. That's awful. I shouldn't be doing this live on podcasts. I understand that, folks, and I will try to limit this in the past. But when I say you need to have a link so you can jump over and see pictures, that's why. Okay. I guess that's John's selection of white carrots and multicolored potatoes. Wow. That's unbelievable to me. All right. Let me go finish up the comments so I can get out of here. Yeah, John. Yeah, I got him loaded and up, John. Oh, sous vide. Okay, so John's telling me what Nikki was talking about on the beef means very, very slow and a long time, usually in plastic and water. Okay, that's what you call a pre-dinner snack. Yes. Emily says, I've seen purple potatoes here in New York too. Man, where have I been? I mean, I claim to live in a cave, but I really didn't think so. Our purples taste just the same if you mix them with mayo for potato salad. They change to green like the sports team color. Get that. You can't be serious. You take purple potatoes and mix mayo and it turns them green? Oh, that's disgusting. Multicolored carrots? I'm telling you, folks, I learned more from you people than I ever thought I'd know of. But if you want the best carrot taste in the world, grow Parisian variety, short, stubby, and intense carrot taste. Wow. Okay. Who thought you'd find out about carrots and potatoes on a cruise show, folks? I wonder how many of the crew on these ships have had their booster shots. That's a good question. And Elizabeth says, I'm hungry now. Yeah, well, Elizabeth, we'll send you some of John's green potato salad. Ooh, a purple potato. No, I can't even think about that. Okay. Enough silliness from me. By the way, folks, between the short videos, I did the whole thing with short videos on national parks. Those are special videos for YouTube that are less than 60 seconds. And we had a wave of people from that. We've had a wave of people now from the podcast marketplace that have come and subscribing to this channel. I've started playing again now with more of doing cruise videos, cruise ships and ports of call videos in the short venue as well. And we've had a nice run of new subscribers because of that. We finally got past 2,500 yesterday. We're up to 2,506, I think it was today. So I'm tickled with getting a nice little range of growth, which, hopefully when I actually go on the cruises here in 18 days, we'll really get a influx of new people. So anyway, that's going to wrap me up for today, folks. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you being here. We try to have a little bit of fun every day and share things with the news. So travel and cruise industry news will be back on Monday. Tomorrow, John and I don't know about Martin. I haven't heard anything from Martin. I've got to fuss at Martin anyway. We'll be here for Cruise Amigos at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. That's 1:00 Central Time, and 7 p.m. London time. And then after that, I believe at 9:00 London time, Pete's Cruises for Solo live stream is going to happen tomorrow night, and I will be joining Pete and Allison for that. That's tomorrow, and then back Monday at 11:00 for Monday Travel and Cruise Industry News at 11:00 Eastern Standard Time. So thanks for being with me, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. One of these days, we'll meet, all of us get together on the high seas. Later, y'all. Have a terrific weekend. Bye. I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships,
ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.